Okay, next up was Peter Gabriel Submerge. Thought I got the Gabriel separate, but nice original 70s boot on Impossible Record Works label. This is the Roxy 77 and the bottom line 78. So great soundboard, or FM rather. Broadcast deluxe sleeve. Essential Gabriel item, I would say. Okay, back to the Genesis. So this is Earls Court, 24th June 77. Just a single LP. Includes inside and out. I used to think that this was an English bootleg from the style. Basically, you just get a folded piece of card, nice picture on it, nothing on the inside, but the labels have the stemra. Yeah. Stemra denotes it's the publishing house for the Netherlands. So ordinarily that would mean it's a Dutch record, Dutch pressing. Seems to be the consensus of opinion. But nevertheless, want to get the broadcast quality, so it's nice quality sound on that one, but only a single LP. Okay, so next one is Sky Watchers. So this is on the TMQ trademark of quality label. And these came out in the 80s, so basically having done, that's the back of the sleeves, having done their stuff in the 70s, someone ran with the label in the 80s and brought out a whole host of releases using this generic style of sleeve. But this is a particularly nice title to have. It's a double album. And this is where you're starting to get those oh boy labels. And this is actually from the Roxy 73. So great sound and obviously great great show. You've got the whole of Horizons and Suppers ready. Basically great track listing. 2 hours over two LPs. Oh, and there is an insert which you always got these little catalogues. To promote all the titles that they were bringing out. They did, I think, at least 2 Gabriel titles. But that's particularly nice one to look for. Back to more modern stuff. Going Out to Get You, Rare Tracks, August 69 to March 1970. This is the Vern label. Very good quality production on these. This silver record contains all available Genesis recordings taped during the period between their first 2 albums. So yeah, some really nice choice stuff. and the Vern label, and they're trying to copy the Charisma style. But yeah, they only ever did black vinyl on Vern. But yeah, very collectible now. So lovely sleeve, lovely photograph. Right, so back to the oldies. So this is the marquee. It says 1972. Roger Dean image on the front. Deluxe printed black and white sleeve. Tack roll again. Particularly long telephone story on this one, but nice with the printed track listing. Can utility in the coastline is on that. So I'm pretty sure it's an audience recording, but fantastic early bootleg. If anybody doesn't know what these are, Tackroll, the amazing Cornyphone record label, they made up this story about Dr. Telephone inventing records basically by doing various things, melting tyres and finding other uses for oil, and all very humorous, and adds to the mystique of early bootlegs. So very collectible these days, you can find one of those. Okay, next up, Gabba Gabriel, mixture of Gabriel and Abacab obviously. So this is a double from the Milton Keynes reunion 1982. Really nice gatefold sleeve. To show you what it looks like. Sorry, it's a triple, not a double. It is a triple. You can see, and they put in the gatefold sleeve. So these are pictures, I think, from the souvenir tour program. So obviously audience recording, pretty nice one. I think I found one pressing that was slightly better quality, which I used to have but don't have anymore. But I really just like the presentation on that version, so I wanted to keep at least one. And I think that came out in 1983 it says, so it came out within a year or so of the shows. I remember grabbing it out of the box at the record fair. So yeah, lovely thing. Not particularly valuable these days, but worth having. Okay, back to the newer ones. These are all mixed up, aren't they? But so Live at the Rainbow 1973. This has to be one of the nicest packaged bootlegs of the modern era. Vern. People to congratulate on this. You won't get a better cover photograph than that. And the back's adorned with fantastic many more photos and lovely text. Yeah, this is a gatefold. It's not a gatefold, but it is a double album. Great sound quality and packaged perfectly. Alright, another Gabriel at the Roxy. Big Thumb Records, plain white sleeve with an insert, This day usually were FM broadcasts, which obviously this one is. Yeah, got Robert Fripp, Steve Hunter, Larry Fast guesting on the show. 4th September 77 dateline. Essential. Then we've got Genesis on Broadway live in Paris. So this is from the Lamb tour. Yeah, there's a slight oddity. It's just a single album, plain label, but quite like the sleeve, and quite nice textured feel to it. So yeah, when they're in mint condition and unplayed, live Lamb stuff, you've got to have that, haven't you? And then live at the Shrine Auditorium, 1975. This is a double on Open Mind. We were just as good as Vern, really, in their attention to detail. Amazing cover. Just as beautiful, if not better, back sleeve. So the whole of the Lamb. Soundboard recording. It is a gatefold sleeve on this one, so I will show you the inside. So again, 500 only these were made. So I don't care how many of these kind of grey area pressings come out on boring sleeves and shoddy packaging. You won't improve on that. Okay, these are the Lamb boots. So this was the reissue of Swelled and Spent, printed sleeve, bit cheaply made. This pressing's not as good as the original Tackrell one, but you do get a deluxe sleeve, and I like the way they've used the proper logo. The labels are blank. Yeah, it says test pressing, but that's just the label that they used. Any label they could get their hands on. So yeah, I think I picked it up quite cheaply at the time. And that's the proper one that you want to get, in my view. I've had a number of different versions of this. I had a blue one with red print. Again, these are the original Tackrells, just with an insert. And they're just lovely things to own. Birmingham Hippodrome 75, of course, audience recording. But I played my original one so many times, I've sort of got used to all of Gabriel's stories in between. He's fallen into a ravine. And that's the printed deluxe Tackrell version, with one of the stories on the back. This time it's the generic one without the track listings added, but you've got the track listings on the front, so that's the reason they did it like that. So at one stage I was collecting specifically these by any artists. I was trying to get all the deluxe Tackrell pressings. I never got anywhere near to all of them, but I had a fair few one time. Odd Man Out. again, fantastic recording, plain sleeve with an insert. I do these in all different colours, but yeah, essential. I think that's from the London 75 FM. Revelation without a cause. So this is a Wizardo. I wasn't a particular fan of Prog, was Johnny Wizardo, but he did a few. Didn't do a Yes one, or at least not under the Wizardo name as such. But he did this Genesis one. And yeah, LA 75, single LP, plain sleeve with the insert. And again, just a nice original bootleg from the Lamb Tour. Essential to have. And then as the Emerald City. So again, the Lamb Tackerel original, plain white sleeve with an insert. Again, you see these with all sorts of different colours. And that has on side 2 musical box Happy the Man, Twilight Owl House. So there's obviously sessions rather than from the same tour. Okay, so these are the modern grey area, what I call grey area, but they are still bootlegs versions. This is the Rochester show, isn't it? Yeah, Rochester 75, Volume 1, Volume 2. Boring. And then we've got Pittsburgh 76. So this is Vern again. So a nice double. This is the FM broadcast, remastered sound, Navigate fold, but beautifully packaged, and nice to get Pittsburgh on vinyl. Aha! So Genesis Quebec City 1973. This was one of the very few, might have been the very first bootleg that I bought. Wombat Records, printed sleeves. So this would have been that's 1978 when I bought this. So this label, they used to do these. They're either pink or blue, printed sleeves onto white. Various artists. And they used to call the records, the labels, all different sort of names. Say this one's Wombat, and you don't get much more bootleggy than that. Whoops! You don't get much more bootleggy than that. And even more bootleggy, the sound is dreadful. But there's something interesting about playing a record that sounds so dreadful when somebody's gone to the trouble of pressing it up. But in 1973 they were just pressing up what they could get hold of tape wise, I suppose. So only as time goes on we can be a bit more picky over sound quality. Next one is A Living Story, 77 tour. Again, you see the inserts in various different colours. I used to have a different one to this, a yellow one I think it was. But again, just plain white sleeve with an insert. But nice single album, representative of the 77 tour. One for the Vines on there, Squonk. So yeah, really nice. I remember when that came out, it was at every record fair you went to for about 2 years. They'd all still got copies of that. but nowadays of course it's a real collector's item. Okay, so 78 Chicago club show, almost club show theatre, live from the mouth of the monster. Great FM broadcast, local FM station put this out. Not the complete show, but it's got most of what you want from it. And I used to like, well, I do like this label, the 78 stuff that came out. Got a couple of Neil Youngs on the same. Hang on a second. So they used to concentrate on 78 stuff, and these came out, you know, in around 78, 79. But there was a lot of FM broadcasts going on around that time. So yeah, this is a great Genesis one to have. I think it's come out subsequently, at least more than once on vinyl, but and there you go, that's one of the reissues of it. So I think on this we've got Parachute label brought this out recently, or last year was it? Or 2021 actually. And yeah, so we've got Volume 1, Volume 2, Chicago broadcast, and you get the complete show with those discs. So that is definitely a version worth getting, even though that'll do it for the Genesis Black Vinyl boots. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll start ploughing through some of the other artists as well. Probably Genesis is one of the ones I've got more by than others. Obviously Pink Floyd the most, Yes it's probably second, and then Genesis the third, and then obviously the other artists less and less. Stone's probably next up, I would think. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.